So CNN Plus is canceled before it even gets off the ground. Check this out. My name is Nate the Lawyer. If you are new here, we talk about the law and the facts. If you're about that life, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Now, with all these streaming services, when I saw they were starting this CNN Plus, I was like, yo, this isn't gonna go nowhere. Who the hell is gonna pay to watch CNN? But there seem to be people out there willing to pay. So they hired Chris Wallace from Fox News. They got a whole bunch of people in there and said, we're gonna do CNN Plus, like people are gonna watch it, right? So after 1 month, CNN Plus is no more. So it was big time news. Everybody's like, oh, they failed. They spent $300 million to create it. And then just like, yo, we're not going to do anything more with it. Now they have all these people they hired. They promised them all these new shows on this new streaming service, and it is done. So CNN has two problems. One, it's like, man, we kind of lost all the streaming service business. But the second is the political piece of it, right? Now it's like, this is a public relations nightmare. We're announcing we're going to kill it, and it just started. So this is reliable sources with our friend Brian Stelter. Now, what his task to do today for us is he is tasked to spin it. So we all understand why CNN is really not in trouble, or why CNN Plus, you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's see what the excuse is for CNN Plus failing.
Here at CNN, new ownership decided to shut down the CNN Plus streaming service less than a month after it was launched by the previous management team. The U-turn was front page news, stunning news, and painful news for everyone involved. Years of development possibly down the drain. Some of the shows may never be seen. Hundreds of staffers may be laid off, though the company is trying to place many of them in new jobs.
So now we know what happened, right? 1 month, they try to place him in new jobs. He's giving us the whole background.
Amid these bruising headlines, folks are trying to make sense of it, and some partisans are leaping to predictable talking points about politics. But the truth is, this was a corporate move.
Well, hold on. The truth is that CNN Plus probably wasn't something that most people were like, yo, we're going to go out there and grab those CNN Plus. You know, it's not like Disney Plus. And I think right now we have this crazy subscription service issue where everything is now a subscription service, right? It's like it's starting to get crazy. My phone got a subscription service. The Shure microphone's got a subscription. Everything's got a subscription service. So just because you do one doesn't mean it's going to be successful. And I think what killed CNN is that they looked at the tea leaves and was like, yo, ain't nobody going to be paying us to watch CNN, not on some streaming service. We need to bundle this with some other stuff, right? Because CNN is not something that people are going to be like, you know what? Let's just do CNN.
This CNN Plus service was doomed because of the timing of a merger and clashing streaming strategies. The new owner of CNN, Warner Brothers Discovery, has big plans to combine multiple streaming platforms to make one big challenger for Netflix.
So it makes sense, right? He's saying, okay, so what they want to do is they said, we're not going to make CNN Plus its own thing. We're going to bundle it with this package where I think they said Discovery. So they're going to package it with all these things and then try to hopefully compete with Netflix.
Which this week, Netflix's first quarter earnings came.
Let's look at some of these headlines. Netflix facing reality check. All right, so this is a swipe at Netflix now. So you say, hold on, look. So we're going after Netflix, and now they're going to throw up all the headlines to show they're going after Netflix. Why Netflix is still lose subscribers, Netflix bad habits, caught up with it. As shares plunge, Netflix takes aim at password sharing. Netflix stumble could be warning sign for streaming industry. Netflix subscriber woes. Oh, so they're saying Netflix is down. Netflix is down.
Came out.
I like the bottom here. Netflix stock nosedives after dip in subscribers. So remember, this was about CNN Plus. Now we're talking about Netflix.
Incredible snag. Subscriber numbers actually declining after the pandemic surge. Its stock taking a nosedive at the news. Lots of questions about Netflix and whether it might actually be a takeover target now. Let's talk about it all, plus Disney and more with our panel of experts here. We have Axios media reporter Sarah Fisher, Mara Schiavocampo, host of the podcast Run Tell This, and a former correspondent at NBC and ABC, and our senior media reporter Oliver Darcy, also with us. Sarah, you broke news. First of all, you were a guest on the first episode of my CNN Plus show, so thank you. Then you broke news about the service being doomed. So let's be very transparent about it. What did you learn
So his CNN Plus show was canceled. So let's see the insider's piece.
this month, and what led to the closure of CNN Plus?
Yeah, well, CNN executives had been plotting this for 2 years. But then in 2021, we found out that CNN's parent company, Warner Media, would merge with Discovery. And what we come to find is that after CNN's head, Jeff Zucker, exited the company, resigned in shock in February, executives at Discovery were starting to question whether or not CNN Plus fit in with their strategy.
No, let's just be honest. They probably were like, is CNN Plus going to be profitable? Because who the hell is paying for CNN? Let's just be honest, right? You know what? Let me know in the chat, not in the chat, in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section whether you would have paid for CNN Plus if they gave it to you for free. Would you guys have picked up that subscription? Or let's make it a penny. Let's say if they charged a penny for it, the nominal fee. Would you guys have even picked up a CNN Plus subscription? I wouldn't have. They couldn't have given it to me.
Discovery, as you mentioned, wanted to create one big streaming service. They wanted it to be general entertainment. CNN Plus is a smaller subscription service. And so I think ultimately they took a look at the books after the merger completed on April 8th. They thought this is too expensive.
Too expensive. You heard, too expensive.
It might not ever get to profit.
Might not ever get to profit. Those two reasons alone, let's scrap it, right? But let's see.
On time, and it doesn't fit in with what we want to do. It's better to cut it off now than to keep it lagging for months while they decide.
All right, Oliver,
After
you and I
300
we'll see
mil.
you, Mara, next to you as an outsider looking at this. What's your perspective on this and what it means for the news business?
Well, it's certainly shocking from the outside looking in because of the fanfare that preceded this launch. You know, we're talking about estimated $300 million that were spent, huge marketing and promotion, big names that were brought in, Chris Wallace, Audie Cornish, Eva Longoria. And so it was shocking that this happened so abruptly.
But as you can hear from the other reporter, it was like, yo, we didn't know if we could make this profitable, right? Who the hell is paying for CNN? If you pay for cable, that's the most you'll get. But even if they gave it to me for free, I don't think I would even be watching it. So it's not shocking when you think about that boardroom and the people like, you know what? Let's do a streaming service. CNN, we'll get Chris Wallace, Eva Longoria. We'll make a thing out of it, right? Charge people $20 a month to watch CNN Plus, or $8 a month, or whatever they're going to charge. I don't think you're going to get people to do it.
But at the end of the day, this is a business decision. And, there are debates about whether or not journalism should be treated as a business versus a public service, but it is a business for better or for worse. And
I like how they have the scrolling headlines about everybody's they're shutting down, they're shutting down, they're shutting down. CNN Plus is dead. Here's what killed the streaming news service only a month after it began. Remember, it's already been out there. And they looked at those numbers and was like, these numbers aren't what we want. These numbers aren't looking profitable. You know what? It's time to end this after 1 month. So, they're trying to make it seem like it's this big, Brian is trying to make it seem like it's this big politics in the background. It was actually good, but it really wasn't good. But we're going to take it and do this and do the ninja jitsu and blah, blah, blah. And they'll be back and this stuff and that stuff. And that's why this is all BS, right? Confusion. But the simple fact of the matter is they ran the numbers and they said, we put 300 million in and we'll be happy to get half that out, right? We need to do something different. Let's put it together with something that we know is going to make us money. Discovery Plus, CNN Plus.
And so to your point, as a new owner, do you come in, see something that's not working and continue to throw good money after bad? And it appears that they made the decision not to continue doing that they did not think this was in the best long-term interest for the company. But again, from the outside looking in, I am very curious to see what they're going to do with all of this talent. I mean, these are huge names with huge followings. Where are they going to go?
I had a source say to me this week, everyone's a product of their history. And the new management team at Discovery, their history includes some niche streaming services that did not do well, right, Sarah? They launched streaming services that were kind of like CNN Plus, although they're not the same, and they failed. And so Discovery does not believe in that model. And it's hard to fathom as a CNN employee, worried about my colleagues being laid off, that this was simply about, corporate strategy. But that's what it was.
No, it obviously, he's got to sell that, right? His bosses said, you better let them know, let the audience know this was corporate strategy. We wasn't failing. We was going to win, right? And we will be back. We're going to bundle it with the, So at the end of the day, CNN streaming service, as you can see, has been kicked to the side because they ran the numbers and was like, we're probably not going to be making any money off this. No matter, Brian Stelter's new show isn't bringing in the millions of views that we thought it was going to bring in. So let's take it, package it up with something else, and try to rebrand it. We've already put $300 million into it. Let's stop losing the money. We already have all this great talent that supposedly all this great talent that we're paying for CNN Plus. We're going to put them with Discovery Plus or whatever it is and call it a day, because it doesn't look like CNN Plus is going to be that profitable. Well, let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think Brian Stelter is right, that this was just, because bad timing and this is really a nothing burger? Or do you think that it's more of, after a month, we saw not a lot of people were signing up and we thought it was better to spend our money elsewhere? Let me know in the comment section what you think. My name is Nate the Lawyer. The death of CNN Plus, it's so sad to see you go, but it was like I never knew you because you've only been around for a month. I'll see you next time. Peace.